Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hello, YouTube family. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing out there? We're going to be covering a variety of topics. Hi, African, no hyphen. Hello, beloved. How you doing? We're going to be talking about a variety of things today. Hello, the alignment room. Hey, I'm doing okay. Thank you. I just added that tier because I had some members in there saying, hey, they wanted more work with, they wanted more hands on with shadow work. And so I was figuring that out, praying to the ancestors about it and trying to figure it out. And I said, you know what? I'm going to create another tier where, again, I have to be more present there. I don't mind. Uh, but yeah, we're going to do that all the way around. You get more hands on with me, and we really, the circle really gets tight. Hi, Elizabeth. Hello, hello, TikTok family. Hello, hello, YouTube family. So again, it's going to be very sacred work, and I'm still working on that tier, putting resources and things in there. But yeah, you get everything, and then plus the shadow work course with me. Is with it. We're going to be doing a lot of meetings in there, a lot of meetings. So if you're not ready for that tier, if you're not going to put any time in that tier, then again, it's a good investment. It's an investment. I'm upgrading this coming month. Okay, the alignment room. So once we go through that first course together, we're going to go through that first course together. And this in the shadow work program that we have, it requires a lot of meeting. It requires you showing up. So, don't, again, we have that new Know Thyself tier that includes the shadow work course. It's more hands on with me. Again, you make a lot of progress if you're going to get in that course. These are people that are very serious about their spiritual walk and want to grow and want to apply Hoodoo and get in alignment with their work. Hello, Epic Wisdom. So again, you probably want to check out that tier over there because again, we're gonna be meeting a lot over there. So don't get in that tier if you don't plan on engaging. If you're gonna be doing a lot of engaging in there with people. Okay. Hi, Epic Winston. Hello, all my TikTok family. We're gonna be going over several things today. Uh, the alignment room. What's the name? The alignment. Am I saying it right? The alignment room just brought up our new tier we just added again that has shadow work around it. We have included that in our work because that's the most sacred work you can do when you're trying, um, again, to strengthen your spiritual and magical practice. Okay. Okay, Epic Wisdom. All right, we just put out a Know Thyself tier. It includes the shadow work, and in that tier, again, we do a lot of engaging and meeting. You have to show up if you want the healing. You want to get, if you're serious about what you're doing, you have to show up. I can't stress that or emphasize that enough over there. If again, because a shadow work takes engagement, it takes community. Okay, and I'll be hosting the meeting and again giving more structure and how healing looks because again, I've been on the journey for a long time, so I can kind of help give some structure there and show you how it looks, so you can see some progress on your journey with shadow work. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know how to do it. You're probably not going to like me that much because I'm going to keep you. What's the name of the tier? The Know Thyself tier. After no hyphen. I'm going to make sure you make progress in there by engaging, talking, talking about what's going on with you, your mind, your thoughts, your spiritual journey. Again, it's going to be a beautiful experience. and you'll see how healing is contagious once you get in these groups and we start having these discussions and going through the course. So you'll see how sacred that work is. It's a different type of bond. Okay, so I'll get to that a little bit later. I'll talk about that more for those that are, interested in not just the spiritual journey, but they want assistance with shadow work. Again, you'll get that in a Know Thyself tier. I will assist you. You still get shadow work material in the ritual and conjure tier. I just don't go in there and we don't do really any follow-ups with that like that. My presence is not really there that way. But in the Know Thyself course, this is going to be structured specifically for shadow work. Okay, specifically for a soul work. That's what it's designed for. And my presence will be heavily in there, and there will be a lot of meetings. Okay. And the tier is a little bit more than the conjure tier. I think it's $13 more. It's $33 a month. I think that's pricey considering, you get me in there, a spiritual advisor that has the experience and that can guide you on your journey. Hi, Patty Cornell. Hello, everyone on the TikTok live stream. Hello, welcome to everyone on my YouTube family on the YouTube live stream. And so today we're going to be covering blood magic. I want to get more into that because that's what hoodoo is. It's of African diaspora. I don't know if I covered this before, but I'm going to cover it again here so you can really understand the sacredness of hoodoo. And again, to inform people what exactly is hoodoo when you're saying, "Hey, I want to do that. I want to do that," and you don't have any experience or any ancestral linkage to the African of a diaspora descent, for lack of a better term. Okay. Blood magic is the ancient practice of passing spiritual power, rituals, and sacred knowledge through generations of a family. It is not simply learned, it is lived, embodied, and inherited. In this tradition, your magic is more than a skill. It is the echo of your ancestors woven into your DNA, carried into your spirit, and reinforced by the stories, the prayers, and the practices passed down to you. That is what hoodoo is. Okay, it's already in our DNA. That's why I tell you, if you come to me and you telling me you can't do something, you don't want to play with me because I'm gonna show you your power. I'm gonna direct you straight to your ancestors. If you telling me you can't do it, that means your ancestors can't do it. And I know your ancestors didn't make no jump. You understand me? It's already in you. Okay. The roots of the bloodline magic, bloodline magic often arises in cultures where spirituality is not separate from daily life. It was not separate. That's why you see hoodoo everywhere in our culture. We didn't even know our ancestors didn't even know they was doing it, but they was doing it. We didn't even know we was doing hoodoo or what our customs and things like that were hoodoo, but they are. Okay? It's already in you, in your DNA. In African, indigenous, or diasporic traditions, magic is not just about casting spells. It is about honoring the living and the dead, maintaining harmony with nature, and preserving the family's spiritual identity. I understand that. That's why when you get home, we break everything down in our community. We understand that. That's why we have the Know Thyself Shadow Work program to help you do that ancestors work, to help you move out that patterns and clear that genetic line and be able uh, to work, work your magic and reach higher frequencies. Okay, because that's what it's going to do. It's going to elevate the bloodline. It's going to take it to a higher frequency. That way, you'll be able to work with a variety of high frequency energies or deities. Okay, it all comes together. It's more than just casting that spell. You see that pretty little thing somebody did. Oh no, beloved, there's more going on there. Okay, hi, Job Beauty. Hello, all my TikTok family. Hello, hello, hello. All my YouTube family. I had somebody saying something in the chat. Hi, Gerald Cole. How you doing, beloved? Okay. So again, we break that all down for you. See, I'm not just gonna. It does you no good to go and learn hoodoo and learn all these workings and you're not healed. You don't understand the whole components of it, and then you understand. Then you don't understand why you can do this and can't do that. Again, we need. Again, it is so important to know the history of hoodoo. It is so important to know where you come from and who you are. And when we start shadow work and breaking down, again, and know thyself, because know thyself is the shadow work. That's what you're doing. You're beginning to know yourself, know your family, and who you truly are and what frequency you are vibrating on. Okay. That way, when you pick up your, your tools, you know what you can do and what you can't do. You need to know that. You need to know what wounds that you need to work on, what spiritual baths you need to be taking. Because I guarantee you, when you start doing that shadow work, you're going to know exactly what spiritual baths you need to start getting in alignment with your work. That's what the spiritual baths for. Hoodoo is also a healing modality. It's root work. We get to the root of things. And that's what shadow work do. It gets to the root of whatever is going on. Okay, that's why I see some people when they do steady be doing tarot cards and they've been doing it for a year. At some point, and for me, I don't know if there's any other readers like that. I start turning into a healer. I start giving people spiritual prescriptions. Give them this to get in alignment. Tell them to take this spiritual bath and da 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 and say these songs and get in alignment and clear that stuff out. It start naturally happening. What you got a question about, job beauty? Hello, Sigga. The Sigga name, Sigga Aiden. Yes, shadow work. Know thyself. A lot of people start going to see counselors and life coaches. They had these wounds that was going on during the COVID. They had some mental activity go on, some feelings that they didn't understand, and then there you go. The mental health industry start booming. You got to know what I'm talking about because we talking about the mind. And if you don't know how your mind works, you don't know what's in your soul. This is soul work. Shadow work is true soul work. Okay, that's the real lesson. That's the real. You can go back and get the medicine and all that wisdom, all that struggle that you went through. Now you can go back and go and get the wisdom because you didn't go through that for nothing. And the shadow work and all that again brings priceless wisdom to help you on your spiritual journey. Okay, I don't care what you know. What is your experience? Because that's the true medicine. I, I'll look at it again and check it out, but I think it's there. It's supposed to be available, but I'll go check it out and check it. No, after no hyphen. So I've just posted in that tier. I've just posted our first part of the Know Thyself program. This is a wonderful program. I've seen people make so much progress with my program. I even wrote a book called Heal Thyself that I have promoted on TikTok, for a very long time. Okay, but the difference in here is that you get the live coaching and things with me. Okay, that you're going, like I said, it's an investment, and I'm going to be present as long as I'm going to be there. You just got to show up. Okay, hi Mitch, hi Queen Labette. Okay, so that's very, very important. And as you people think they can do it by themselves, but I can tell you right now, this is no work that you can do by yourself because it requires a lot of mental shifting. And if you could do it by yourself and heal yourself, you would have did it a long time ago. Okay? This requires somebody can go in there and help you start doing some shifting and look at yourself in a beautiful new perspective. Good evening. Hi, Aiden. Good evening. Would you please explain how Hoodoo and Christianity work together? That again, I'm gonna break this down before I go into this blood magic thing again, you guys. So Aiden said, Aiden Identity 22 said, "Good evening. May you please explain how hoodoo and Christianity work together? Hoodoo is a spiritual, ancestral spiritual practice that can be practiced along any side religion. It is not Christian. I don't care what religion you is, you can always practice hoodoo along that religion because it is not religion. It is ancestral based. It is the natural magic that our ancestors passed on to us. Okay, it hid up under Christianity. Okay, and we use some of that occult esoteric knowledge in hoodoo, but it is not Christian. And a lot of people is making it seem like that, but it is not. It is actually a science when you understand how you and these natural elements work with each other. Okay, so it just it's not Christian. I'm sorry that people are making it seem that way, but it's not. Okay, you can you don't even have to be Christian to practice hoodoo. Okay, because we look at that Bible from a different perspective. It is a grimoire, and now that we're going, I talked about the Ethiopian Bible the other day, and the more you look at that Bible, them folks start looking like your ancestors. When you look at those saints, they start looking like your ancestors. You start making links. Okay, you start to feel some type of a kinship frequency with some of these ancestors, and when you start looking at the Bible through the hoodoo lens, you start seeing your ancestors in it. And when it starts out talking about your ancestors, they talking about them ancient Egyptians. Who you think they talking about? Who you think they talking about? See, when we go through that Bible, I'm gonna give you the power. You gonna stand on your ancestors when you use that power, because the way we break it down and we look at where it comes from, I'm gonna point out your ancestors in it. You understand me? That's how I'm gonna teach it to you. And all them folks in the Bible look just like you. And that's how I'm gonna talk to you. You need to understand that. I don't care how many pale face pictures they done put up around you. When you get over there, I'm gonna show you who you are. Because you really don't know. You don't know the power and what's in your bloodline. That's why we talking about bloodline magic today. Okay, that's what you carry in you. That's why it's closed. Okay, and see, we got to reprogram our mind. A lot of people say, "Well, Miss Peter, we got a lot of things to read." Yes, you do, because you read a lot of books to get you, to make you believe that you ain't who you are. So it's gonna take a minute for you to deprogram that stuff. It'll probably be if you just starting on your journey, you won't feel that confident in who you are and what you got on the inside of you for about a year studying that, reprogramming your mind. Now, anybody telling you that you can do a workshop and all this and a weekend workshop with Hoodoo, I don't recommend it, because again, you need a good foundation. And the way the components to come together, you get the full deal. I don't teach you that, again, we don't just share no spells. We show you who you is so you can reach in there and get your own magic. Okay? All right. That's what we do. But thank you, Denny22, for asking that question. I thank you so much. Okay, so let's go on down here. Again, we get in harmony with nature. We live like our ancestors. Why? Because they were indigenous. That's how our hoodoo work. We get in harmony with it. We don't work against nature. Now you'll have the people that oppressing us. They're using it against you. They're always using your ancestors' spiritual science against you through manipulation and mind control. That's what they're doing to you. They told you all these lies. Okay? And so it's gonna take a while for us to get our mind back together. Because the things they have done is try to again tamper with our soul. Somebody playing with your mind, they playing with your spirit, they playing with your soul. We gotta get back what they try to steal from us. Okay. Many of these practices survive colonization, enslavement, and forced migration precisely because they were hidden in plain sight, tucked into lullabies, cooking rituals, herbal remedies, and seemingly ordinary traditions. These quiet acts of survival ensured that the magic was never lost, even when the oppressors out there had stamped it out. Ain't that something? That's just how powerful hoodoo is. They try to hide it, but we doing it right there in front of their face in plain sight. Still doing it. Some of our ancestors still doing hoodoo and don't even know they doing it. And then try to tell you wrong, but you looking at them watching them do hoodoo. Now, is there aware of it? I don't know. Hello, Olivia Knight. Hello, 50 Shades of Nine. Hello, Breezy. Are they aware of it? I don't even know. But that's just how they got stuck in there. Okay? That magic got stuck in there. You can't tell them different. That, and now that we know and we see it, we can identify it. They telling us now that's not what it is. That's what that is, beloved. I don't know if you lost, you know, contact with your ancestors. They didn't tell you, but that's what that is. Okay, that's why I would tell them in a minute, especially the Christians that look like me that try to, ridicule hoodooers, hoodoo practitioners. Honey, if we are witch doing devil worship, so are you. Okay? You're sitting up there talking about a conjure man you trying to worship, which is Jesus. That man was a witch doctor, a necromancer, and everything else. Let's just keep it real. Look at what he did. Okay, you keep talking about what Jesus do, y'all don't never do it, but you talk about it. Look at what he did. Okay, and then he got up from the grave. That's what they say in their book. That's how we gonna look at it in hoodoo. Okay, we're not gonna believe in no fallacies and nothing else. We're gonna turn that book into some power. All right, that's how we're gonna break it down. Anyone can study magical traditions, but bloodline magic carries a direct ancestral current spiritual frequency unique to your family. Okay, that's why I tell other folks you can't know everybody get in here. And what you need to understand, especially when we start going through the shadow work and looking at epigenetics, uh, you have to look at the trauma that happened to us that still echoes in our DNA. They have already did research that this stuff stays in us for generation until we consciously start expelling some of this trauma out. Okay? Now, many of us got PTSD, anxiety disorders, and when you start doing your work and getting to know how your mind works and how you feel, you might discover that you have autism or ADHD or ADD. Again, these are neurological disorders. These disorders might contribute to why you have a certain gift. Okay, but first we need to find out how your mind works. What's list? Oh, Lord, I ain't even got the thing on. I'm supposed to have my headset on. Uh, First we got to find out how these things work. Okay, I'll touch on death again in a minute. Time stamping army. Okay, first you got to find out how your mind works. Some of us want to reach for magic and do all this stuff, but it ain't gonna work until you know what opens up the magic in your mind. That's why you see me over there on Patreon, and you'll hear me talk about a subject and give a lecture of 3 or 4 different ways on the same subject because I don't know how it's gonna open up your mind. One of those lectures is gonna spark some in your mind and open up your mind. Okay, everybody mind don't work the same. And then I again post a variety of materials because I don't know which resource is going to make you say, "Oh, aha, I got it. I, I get this now. I know how I can interface with this." Everybody is different. Okay. And so again, I post a variety of resources. Again, we're trying to open up that DNA, that ancestral magic so you can start using it and tap into your own hoodoo. Okay? That's why you'll get on here and you'll see people they will share spells with you, and you'll have some spells and workings that work for people, and then you'll have some work that don't work for people. Why is that? Okay? Nobody asked the question why. There's a variety of reasons why that could happen. You can some stuff you can do and some stuff you can't do. Why is that happening? So you get a chance to really look at that some of the reasons when you get over there because you have more of a solid foundation. Yeah. That's the right time step when the ancestors set that down to me and I started looking at again all the anxiety because we live with it every day, but we normalized it. That is not normal to live with that sort of high anxiety like that all the time. Okay. And that's when the ancestors like, this is what's going on with most of our people. And they don't even realize it because they are not really sitting still long enough to observe their thinking and their emotions and look at their lived experiences. Cause say over there, when you get in that course, that know thyself membership, I'm gonna be telling you to slow it down and put spirit in the middle. You're gonna have to change up the whole way you do things to get yourself back in alignment and get your nervous system back together. That's what I'm gonna be telling you. Okay, the know thyself membership is gonna be totally different because it's gonna be hands on. And you're gonna constantly hear me say put spirit in the middle. Always keep spirit in the center because that's where you should be operating from. Some of us got the incorrect things centered in our life, and that's why we're off balance. Because they have convinced us we don't have time to take care of ourselves. When really, when you start putting spirit in the middle and start taking care of yourself, time, you start to control time. Time don't run you. You start running the time. You start to see there is no such thing. Is no such thing. The only thing that exists is the right moment. That's it. And again, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, they set that up for you. But you have to get control of that time because if you don't, them people run you in the ground with time. And you have to take time and put it in your head and start controlling it. What's important to you? And knowing when to rest and sit your butt down. Just sit on down. That's it. You really gonna get a lot of. You're gonna learn how to love and take care of yourself over there. Again, and practitioners need to know how to do that. A lot of them do not know how to do that. This is gonna give you the tools to know how to take care of yourself as well. Okay. And again, you'll have a regimen in place on how to take care of yourself. And the more you heal on you and take care of you, the better practitioner you're going to be when you're taking care of others. Because at the middle of all of this uh, is psycho spiritual as well. Okay, you have to get in alignment, get your mind ready for doing certain workings. And this hoodoo is that way. That's why we got the baths. That's why we got the blockbusters. That's why we got the road openers. That's why we have that. Okay, so it's not just a magical, metaphysical modality. It's also psycho spiritual too, because our ancestors couldn't go to no therapists or psychologists. They had to go the shamanic way and use spiritual modalities. I hope this making sense to you. Hello, Larry Ogun. Hello, Jennifer Allen. Hello, Chris Brooks. Hello, Jean Lamb. Hello, Ed Double. Gerald jumped over here. Hello, Super Des. Hello. All my TikTok live family and my YouTube family. Hello. Greetings and blessings and love to all of you. Okay, so it's psycho spiritual as well. This is not just your mind has got to be right. I don't care what nobody telling you. Even if you talk to a spiritualist, that's going to be part of that. Ain't no sense in focusing on the magic on hoodoo if you're not gonna get your mind right. If you want to do something right, you want to bust open some walls and everything, get a good foundation. Okay, I hope that made sense. You might again when you start doing this work. Again, you might be see your inherited gifts such as clairvoyance. You might have a healing touch. Your divination might become more accurate or heightened. And again, you get a chance to work with your ancestral guardians, your ancestral guardian spirits who walk with you because of your blood ties. Okay, they not might start revealing unwritten knowledge about spells, prayers, and omens that seem to just come to you. And again, the way the ancestors start work, they will start putting thoughts in your mind, start asking yourself questions, and they will again start putting answers in your mind. This is how spirit works. This is how spirit works. But see, if you don't know, because you don't know your mind, you don't know what spirit is talking to you or not, because you got all these old tapes and stuff playing in your head, all this old trauma playing in your head. You don't know what when spirit is talking or your mind, if this your mind. You don't know if you're making it up because you ain't did no shadow work and start clearing that stuff out. This is how this works. I'm gonna break it down to you because I've heard people say, "Well, how you know your ancestors said it?" Because I know their voice from my voice. I know the things that they're telling me ain't no way I can come up with that on my own. Yeah, Gerald Cole, you was told you have ADHD. Now behind the ADHD, you might find another spiritual gift. Behind those, that trauma, there's tends to always be a spiritual gift behind these so-called ailments, these neurological ailments, as the ancestors have put it to me. And see what they meant for evil again turned out because of our resilience, it turns out to be a stepping stone. Because you have, well, again, we're going to change the way you look at it over there. Okay, but we also want you to be taking care of you. If you know this is going on with yourself, you know how to take care of yourself. You know what you need. You know how to approach your altar. If you don't know nothing about yourself, you don't know what's going on and why this is happening. Because again, we don't know. And again, getting your mind in alignment with yourself in these elements. Because once you come back home to you, everything falls into place. They call me crazy. I ain't. E double. I've been called that before. Okay. These gifts are activated through connection, respect, spiritual discipline. They require you to feed your lineage with offerings, prayers, continued practice, ensuring the power stays alive for the next generation. It's a sacred responsibility. The bloodline magic is not just a privilege, it's a responsibility. Okay? Again, we honor our ancestors, keeping their names, their stories, and their traditions alive. We preserve the sacred knowledge rather than diluting or selling it out by context. This is a closed practice. This is a bloodline magic, okay? To help you understand this, people on the outside of the club that's trying to get in the club. I'm sorry. We didn't make it this way. Our ancestors did this for us. It's not don't look at us. Our ancestors did it. They protected us and this is what they said. And we honor their wisdom by keeping what they said. Okay? By honoring what they said. We honor that. So we're not going to go against that. And like I say, I will work with you guys. I don't mind helping people heal. I have worked with pale-faced people, but I'm not going to share inside information about our indigenous spiritual practices. It is disrespectful to our ancestors. Have you ever missed a couple of days at your altar? It can happen, yeah. But now I get my butt right back in alignment. Okay, you get your butt right back over there and do what you're supposed to be doing. You know you ain't been over there. You better get your butt over there and start doing some work. some journaling, some praying, some meditation. Okay. In many cultures, misuse or neglect or inherited magic can lead to spiritual consequences, not as a punishment, but as a natural imbalance that may be corrected. Now, I've heard many people that this is passed on to them, and their ancestors start working with them, and they start having a spiritual crisis. Okay, and when they decide to go ahead and do like their ancestors have gifted them, putting them to do, then the spiritual crisis fades away. That's usually why some people go into initiation because of a spiritual crisis. That's really what it's supposed to be for. So they can get you in alignment with your ancestors, and they can get you in alignment with these natural elements. When they start doing the work and they start working with their ancestors, the crisis usually go away. Okay. And you'll probably see that too. You probably don't even know you're going through a crisis until you go through shadow work and you start seeing all the habits and behaviors and stuff that you have normalized that is not normal. You caught up in the karmic loop of the family. All of y'all up under spiritual crisis keep repeating trauma. And the way the ancestors I was like, why was this keep happening, ancestors? Why? They was like, again, you keep repeating the trauma. You don't even look at the perspective that is us trying to get your attention. We have to literally haunt you to get your attention. We don't mean it in a bad way. We mean it to wake you up. Okay, so you won't see all the patterns that's going on again till you slow down and want to look at yourself. See, we live, a lot of us living in survival. We living in ego. But that work that you get to see yourself, you ease that ego out the way, and you get to truly look at you. Okay. And it may take you a minute. I know how much uh illusion that we are in, how much denial we in, because a lot of us are in heavy denial on top of the brainwashing, and then on top of normalizing dysfunction. And I guarantee you, if you, especially if you over there in the Americas, you have normalized a lot of dysfunction and don't even know, you doing it because it's so prevalent. I know what I'm saying. It sounds like far fetched. Miss Penn, that's that far fetched. Okay. You could think that if you want to, but I guarantee you get over there and start doing your work, you're going to start seeing yourself. Okay. You're going to see, I'm going to make sure you see yourself. You're going to be looking at the person in the mirror. You ain't going to be busy talking about nobody. You're going to be too busy focused on you. And that's the way it need to be. Where you at, mamas? I'm in Thailand. Okay. And many again, again, don't misuse the magic. And it you can't you can't really, again, when I see people doing a lot of hexing and all that, you can't keep doing that and you don't mess up yourself if you're not again fully in alignment with what you're doing. Okay? Because if you do that stuff again, in the wrong way, it can come back to you, depending on who you trying to do it to. So again, being in line, am I saying, um, is there no need for a hex? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you got some people out there that just love to jack people up for no reason, and if that's what you're doing, it will it's a boomerang. It'll come back. You do it to the right person, they'll shut you down. Okay, I don't care how tough you think you is. And the way our ancestors had this set up, again, it was about balance. justice, liberation, freedom, healing, resilience. Okay, that's the way it was set up. Now, can somebody come in here and abuse it? Absolutely. You got some people to go straight over there and they good conjurers because they got that in their DNA and they messed up and they conjure the wrong thing. They skip all this, and because they're talented in the conjure, they start conjuring. You got some people that will go in because they're good at conjuring. That's just start conjuring up spirits. Okay, I see that prevalent. Again, you see that prevalent in a lot of musicians. You saw the movie Sinners. That wasn't no fake. You heard about Robert Johnson. You seen some of these celebrities in their conjuring concerts. You seen it with your own beautiful eyes. I ain't got to tell you. Okay, you seen it. All over this TikTok, these people, you start seeing all types of paranormal and supernatural stuff happen at these concerts. People just, drop and they gone, things like that. You got these bizarre, decorations and stuff up there that have occult meanings. They're conjuring and doing ceremonies and stuff in your presence. Okay, so they know what's going on. Some of them know what's going on. They know exactly what they're doing. They're aware of it. At some point, they become aware of what they're doing. I got a racist on my job. Do you think a person with the hatred deserves a jar with some good ingredients? I do. I mean, that's what we got it for. Okay, you got them folks like that down your job. Yeah, do something with them. You know they like that. Do something with them. That's what I mean. That's why our ancestors created this for protection as well. That's why it was there for. You see something like that going on, then yeah, you probably need to go ahead and start working something out. I was another girl talking about her neighbor was like that, and what she do? She said she put in some kind of jar, and she said within days, she saw a change within that neighbor. Okay, she saw a change within that neighbor. So again, protect yourself. We know we have to do work on them folks. That's why we had High John the Conqueror. He had to go out there and beat that man, whoop on that slave owner. Slave owner thought he was beating him, but the man beat him up. Okay, and so you got to protect yourself out here with these folks. You know how it is. They got it set up where they mind sick. And they infect us with their disease because they got a color disease. It's, something going on with their mind. God help them. I don't even want to know about the ancestors' work they got to do to get themselves right. If they ever decide to truly get themselves right, that's got to be terrible. That you wake up, you start doing your work and you find out that your ancestors they are Syria unalivers. They Syria unalivers. That's what you call it when you like to particularly oppress and unalive particular persons. Don't Ain't that what they call them? Okay. I know they try to call it a hate crime, but we should take it a little further because these people they made postcards. This was their leisure pastime is to again torture people of color. It's crazy. Okay, that's crazy when you really just sit down and think about it. And you still got them focusing on everything we do, especially Black Americans. This stuff that's going on. Uh, people saying Black Americans this and Black Americans that. And that's why I tell you, you don't know what you're standing on in America. These people instead of trying to tell you you come from somewhere else, you come from right there. People can see that in you. Okay, they can see that in you. There's something different about us. Yes, sitting in spirit. They had picnics and everything. I mean, sitting there, that's the most you can sit there and eat while you're looking at the most gross thing. That's something is wrong with those people. You need to get that through your head. Something is wrong with those people. And this was all across the country. Postcards.
And then what's her name? Billie Holiday sung about it. They unalived that woman. We already know Martin Luther King, he would have survived, but they went in there and ended him. You better get your head, That's why I tell you, tell people you need to stay over there. That is a look, you need to stay over there. You need to think about what you're asking before you call yourself trying to get over here and ask somebody, can I be in there? Girl, boy, that is a trigger for us. It's the audacity for me, like your ancestors ain't got a history of unaliving our ancestors. You don't see me want to be over there with you and them white sheets on your head. You don't see me wanting to do that. Don't come over here with that. It's just a so this. I don't think you put and that fathers let me know when you do that something is wrong with you. Raycon Jackson, it's a trip. I ain't never seen that. Never have I seen a people use their leisure pastime. I mean, they make up, they even did blackface and mock you and found it entertainment. This was their pastime now. They got this in the sickness that they have so much work to do. I sure hate that for y'all. I do not like that for you. Compared to the work that we have to do. Stay away from again, y'all need to get over there. And I know you say it wasn't me, it still was your ancestors and it's in your DNA. Just like it's in us, in our DNA, if you FAFO, we will put our hands on you. We still got that spirit in us. We still got John Horse in us. You understand me? We still got Black Hawk in us. So don't what is his name? Nat Turner. We got some Nat Turner blood in us. Don't play with us. Cause that still lives in us, just like that stuff is in you. And you don't want to trigger that coming over here with your mess. You understand me? You need to get that stuff. You need to run that stuff out your bloodline. Get it checked. You don't got time to be coming over here trying to do stuff with us. Go heal your bloodline, cause that's what we're doing. And when you come over here and we're minding our own business, you're trying to come over here. We're over here trying to heal 600 years of this. And girl, please, boy, please get somewhere and sit down. Go sit down and look at yourself, cause you ain't looking at yourself if you doing that. And I'm looking at you. And you say, well, that's not us. Wait, go work on your focus. They ain't changed because we still marching and singing the same song we were singing 5, 6, 700 years ago. You should be too busy trying to fix that than trying to get over here and be with us. Go fix that. Fix your folks. Because I'm over here trying to fix mine. We trying to fix ourselves over here. Okay? We trying to love on ourselves and honor our ancestors and heal from all that. And you come over here with that. We can't do that in this space. And you trying to bar guard your way over here. Are you something is wrong with you? I can't wrap my mind around how many times I get in my DM and how the level and intensity of rage and anger I feel that my ancestors feel when you do that is so disrespectful. So disrespectful. And then you get mad at us when we place a boundary with you. Like hell no. You don't want to be told no. And I ain't gonna explain because no is a complete damn sentence. And right now I'm giving you a paragraph that you do not deserve. Okay? And I'm gonna be adamant about that. I don't care what you do. Because they try their best to try to infiltrate hoodoo. Stay over there with them other traditions. If they let you in, initiate you, fine. But over here, I don't give a damn about how much money you got. It is closed. I'm saying this in the most loving and respectful way I can. It is closed. And if you get yourself over there and I catch you over there, you gonna be blocked and you ain't getting no refund. Use your own folks to heal you. Use your own magic. Use your own stuff. Hey Dimples. Hey baby. I hope you got your thing. I think you were supposed to get your astrological chart. I think I sent it out to you, baby. So check your email if you haven't received. If you haven't, check your email and see because I sent that off the other day. Okay, it's just that I have to tell these folks that this is bloodline magic. Now I don't know why, and that's why for the life of me, I don't understand why IFA or none of these other places initiate them. I don't understand that because we know this is ancestral. We know this, so I just don't understand that. I don't understand that, and I'm very suspicious of it. Why you doing it? You're welcome. If you didn't get it, let me check it. I mean, if you didn't get it, let me know and I'll resend it. I don't know why. Make sure you check because it's gonna be under. I think it's gonna be under Hoodoo Spiritual Blueprint. It's coming from me, chemistry. So check your email. I had somebody. I guess she missed it or something, and she didn't get it or she overlooked it. But I had to resend it. I don't mind resending it if I need to. Okay. So let me know how to work with your bloodline magic. Again, begin with ancestral veneration. That's how when we get you over there, we get you aligned with your ancestors. You don't need to learn no practice. I don't like to see folks be doing it backwards, putting the cart before the horse. You need to be in alignment with your ancestors before you start touching stuff and be asking them what you need to be doing. Stop doing stuff that you think I don't recommend it. You see folks doing that's probably not even what your ancestors got for you. They probably got a whole different way to do that is better. But you don't know because you sit up here following folks. You won't sit still long enough to listen. Okay? So again, we get you in line with your ancestors' health, the ancestors, not family members. Okay, good, good. Let me know if it resonated, beloved. I tried to give you the most recent, again, looking at your chart and seeing what's going on now. I tried to give you the most recent update so you can get the work, doing your root work and get in alignment what you need to do. Okay, so let me know how that works for you. But as always, ask your ancestors. But that's what I saw in your chart, baby. Okay, so again, we get you in alignment. Okay, we get you in alignment with your ancestors. That's the first thing we gonna do. I ain't gonna be showing you no. It ain't gonna do you no good. Me showing you something you don't even honor them folks that came before you. You stand on them shoulders, but you want to sit up here and grab this and grab that, and not honor your ancestors, not pour no libations, not talk to them folks, and knowing this is the core of your magic. This is the current that you're working with. Okay, those ancestral currents that's already in you. Thank you, Dimples. Okay. So we got to get you in alignment with it. You wanna access some power, we got to get you in alignment with it. So you're gonna learn about ancestral veneration. Not comfortable with talking to ancestors of those who have passed on. That's why we look into necromancy so you can get a closer look at what you're doing. Because that's what that is. It's like necromancy. Thank you, Tina. Okay, that's what that is. And we look at the family, we look at old stories, things that they're done. Cause you'll be surprised when you start looking at your family and looking, or even start again, uh, going to do your ancestors' work, which is AKA shadow work. When you start doing that, these memories, because you're going in your memories looking at things. That's going to happen a lot over there when we start looking at how our family was and the things they did. Once you start doing that shadow work, all these memories will start to surface. Not just all the trauma, but all these other stuff you thought you forgot. that you didn't paying attention to. It's somehow the ancestors work. And you'll start seeing hoodoo. It's something about the trauma that brings up a lot of these memories when we start looking at it. It's things that start surfacing. Okay? I know that sounds crazy, but that's what happens. You start unlocking different parts of your mind because, again, we suppress a lot of things too. When you're trying to survive and live and all that, you suppress a lot of memories. You'd be surprised what's not in your memory and what's in there once you start doing the work. You see, they got you over survival mode over there. They got us, trying to keep money in our pocket. And they try their best to keep us disconnected from ourselves. Them rascals, they do. They work double time hard because they know once you get with yourself and wake up and get in alignment with things, their game is over. Okay, their game is over. That's why I'm passionate about, again, sharing whatever the ancestors put in me, and then being able to create a platform that's affordable for you, so you can get it. Now, these other spiritualists that's charging these outrageous, ridiculous prices, $200 for a 15-minute read and all, it's ridiculous. You ain't no way that you got in here to help people, so you can just stop it. Ain't no way you can't. I can't sit here. Sometimes when I have a reading for people, I go over my time just so I make sure they get what they need. The spirit they got all the information out that they need. If they don't understand it, then I might have to go through there and help them remove some blocks. Why? Because I'm passionate. Why? Because I do this because I care. I don't do this because I want to get rich. You got to ask these people, and y'all that's booking these people like that, honey, that is not right. It's not ethical. I've seen somebody on here. I think she called us. They call themselves a medium. $1,000 and some to book a reading with them. Watch these people. I'm not saying you shouldn't be paid, but you know the condition of our people. You don't want nobody to afford you. Y'all might as well be as worse as the Christian church. I have to call you out. And some of you just started doing this yesterday. You haven't did any research. You haven't did any real study about the spiritual science. You just picked that up. Like I said, after COVID, people lost their mind. I seen so many on here that didn't need to be doing the things they were doing. I congratulate your spiritual journey. I do. But with everything, it takes time. Okay? So you be careful out there when you're looking at this, because there's I can't tell you how it makes me feel when I see people do that and be like, why are you doing that? Why are you charging them $300 for 15 minutes? Why are you charging them $500 for, what do you have to give them? Because when they get done with that, there should be a spell work included in that. That should be uh maybe a follow-up call after the reading. If you gonna be charging them people that much like that, what type of quality of service are you adding? You better be doing something, because you keep doing that, them spirits, that ain't gonna be right for you. You keep playing with it if you want to. Okay, that's my message to them. So again, listen to the old stories, going in, looking in your memories. Observe your natural gifts when you see them on them. If you know you have dreams, your intuition visions, don't sit there and dismiss them. Start recording them, because that's your gift from your ancestors. Don't dismiss them. I have, so many people that have gifts, they don't trust them because they think that it should be looking a certain kind of way. No. Okay? Everyone is different. And stop looking at how so and so do theirs You different from so and so. Look at how you do yours. That is the most important thing. Nobody's stuff is better or more than yours. Period. I don't care how these people getting up here talking or whatever. Okay? And see, you mess with me, you're gonna be shifting your thinking on how you see yourself. I'll make sure you do. Okay? We're not going in that pity stuff. I can't do it. We ain't gonna do that because our ancestors didn't do it, and I'm not gonna let you do it. All right? Hope it makes sense to you. All right? Again, learning to work with sacred plants and symbols. Okay, many families have staple plants that they work with. Some have animals that work with or animal symbols. You'll see that too when you start working with ancestors. They had started having me putting certain animals on my altar. Like I said, they had me putting owls on my altar. I had so many pictures of owls. I said, "What is going on?" And then another thunderbird told them. That's why we go in nature. They would speak through nature too, depending on what you're looking at. So it's good to go outside because, again, these ancestors would speak through nature. Like I seen one man out here, he was going somewhere and the bird just flew on him, wouldn't leave him or nothing, just stay right there on his shoulder. Every time he moved, the bird moved. The bird just stayed there. I said, "Well, that's an ancestor. I don't know what's going on with you, but apparently you need extra support. If that ain't an ancestor, I don't know what it is." Okay, so you'll see them come. They'll show up as pets. They'll show up as animals. Yeah. Okay, so don't limit. Like I said, the ancestors can reach you through anything, through anybody at any time. Do not limit their messages to you. Probably been giving them to you and you don't even know it. Okay, because you ain't paying attention. Okay, so working with those plants, getting to know those plants, again, you get to know your magic, and you'll hear me say that over there. I'll tell people you need to grow something. You need to grow something and start making friends with these plants, getting to know their frequency and their energy. It could be something simple, easy plant. Okay, but you need to have a plant there, especially if you got an ancestors altar. It's a good idea to have a plant there by your ancestors altar so you can pour libations at that plant, on that plant near your altar. Okay, start talking to that plant because again, our ancestors can work through those currents. They're not limited. Okay, that's why we go outside and we pour libations. Again, we connect with the land, we invoke our ancestors. All the birds that were making nests in our roof are gone. Does that mean we need to move? Not necessarily. They probably was there for a certain time. Maybe you needed protection from something. Maybe you needed extra support for something. That's why they were there. There could have been a variety of reasons why they're there. Okay, you have some animals like that. They'll show up right, when you need extra support and then they'll go away. Crystals do that as well. People get this crystal, they love this crystal, and it helps them heal. And then when they don't need it anymore, they can't find it. Okay, that's usually how crystals work. When you can't find that crystal any longer and you lost it, that means you no longer need it. It did everything it was supposed to do. And they just vanish sometime. And people say, "I can't find it. I don't know where I put it." You don't need it anymore. Okay? It's gone. You don't need it. Now it's time for you to move on to something else. And so if that happens to you, you use all the medicine that you needed from the crystal. It moved on to help somebody else. Okay, and you'll see that sometimes. Bloodline magic is a living river flowing from your ancestors through you into the future. It is not something you can buy, and cannot be taken from you. It is your spiritual inheritance. It's yours. I know you can't touch it, you can't feel it, you know, but you can damn sure access it. And I'm determined to help you do that. To walk in this power is to walk with your ancestors beside you, carrying the torch they lit generations ago. So that is bloodline magic. Okay, that is hoodoo. Now, time stamping army say they want me to talk about death again. What exactly do you want to know about death? Because I mean, it's really no such thing. It's sort of a rebirth the way we look at it. You're just being born in another frequency, another sort of dimension. So there's really no such thing as death, which they scare you with that because they want you to enjoy being in this reality in this body. But this body is temporary. Hey, Miss Penny, how do you feel about people trying destiny swap? They can, that can happen. That's why it's good to have good boundaries with people and know who you are. But once you get over there where we are, we break that all down. If you what's the book we have over there? The healing and cleansing book we have over there, and it talks about these different personalities and characteristics that you can see in people. Okay, what about abortion? For and that crossed my mind, Mama Nisi, and I started to have a discussion over there on our platform about it, and I'm so happy that you brought this up, Mama Nisi, because this could be so hard for people to comprehend. And really, this is a subject for women and not so much men because we are the one birthing children. And I'm gonna talk about this from my own experience, not nothing I've heard, but also my experience to help you look at things from a different perspective. Now, a lot of people look at abortions and they look at women as being cruel, and that's not always so. We get to choose the souls that we bring in this world, and if it's not safe for them, I think it's the proper thing to send them back. There's also those type of rituals when you're doing something like that to talk to the child and let them know why they couldn't come at this time, why it wasn't a good time for them. Okay, you get to control who comes through that portal, and by God, you want to bring any child in here into trauma. That's why a lot of us women are opting out, bringing these children in here because we don't want any more karmic children, and we don't want to bring any more in here to be exploited or be born into trauma like we were. And that's the great mother that's working through us. Even though, abortion is nothing new, we did that in ancient times as well. Now, miscarriages or stillborns, I think it's the same thing. Those children, they choose not to come here. Y'all have to look at the spiritual aspect of that. It wasn't the right time. They came here and they did what they're supposed to do. They shifted. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you, and I haven't shared this story with anyone else, but I'm gonna share it with you. I've never shared this story with anyone. So, again, I'm being vulnerable here and transparent. Okay. I feel so bad about that. Yes. And you can go ahead. You can always talk to that child because they're always attached to you. You can always talk to them. But I can remember when I had a slip up and I had got pregnant, and I did not want to be pregnant by this guy. I knew it wouldn't end well. I already had two children, and then I have a daughter that's autistic, and she has some health problems. We're still dealing with those health problems. And I slipped up and I got pregnant, and I just cried. And I can remember, um, I was really ruminating about it, and I prayed. I said, I talked to my womb, and I talked to God. I said, "Baby, I can't have you. Cannot come here. You cannot come here. I'm so sorry. I can't carry you. You cannot come here. I had a conversation just like this. You can't be born right now. This cannot happen. This will not be a good environment for you. I am too overwhelmed. You cannot come here. I must have did, and this was innately, I just innately started doing it, a natural thing. And I say I did this for about uh, 3 or 4 days, and I had a spontaneous miscarriage. The baby again didn't come. It removed itself. Now you can call it many other things, but again, I call this is the intelligence of the woman's body. That's how I felt about it because I couldn't believe that it happened. I just talked and told the baby, you cannot come here. I can't have you here like that. I would not be a good mother to you. I wouldn't be, and this how I talk to my womb because I wouldn't want to bring that child here and couldn't care for it the way it needed or deserved. Now, from a woman's point of view, a man, you can never understand this because you don't carry children. You don't nurture them the way we do. So you can never understand that. You don't have a womb. I don't expect you to understand. But these are the things that we need to have a sit down and talk about, especially when we're doing our shadow work to help some of these women shift out of guilt and shame. We shouldn't have to feel guilty or shame talking about this. Yeah, that mitochondria. And this happened to me now just by talking to my womb, telling that baby, you can't come here like this. No, 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 no. You can't do it. I can't take care of you, baby. I love you, but I can't do it. Your womb is powerful, especially the woman's body, the intelligence of the body when you talk to it. And you'll see that once you start again going deep with yourself. Okay? And these are the conversations, especially women, the healing that we need to happen to start again when mama heal, when women heal, nations heal. You hear me? And it's again, we get over there and I break that down. I break that down uh so you can understand that. And I take the misogyny and all the biasness all out of that. So you'll get the medicine that you need. And I talk about the divine feminine because it's been heavily omitted, and that's why I know it's so damn important. Okay? And I know that it is touchy for some men, but then you got to ask yourself why because this been the truth all the time, sir. You just been bamboozled. You was always supposed to be laying on your mama's bosom. You was always supposed to know that God was a woman, a divine feminine. Who else can have that much love, grace, and patience and nurturing for you? You come through her womb, you come from her. So why wouldn't you think she was God? Why wouldn't you think she was God and you come from her? I don't know a man that didn't come from a woman. You show me one that didn't come from a woman. She is the being that's cosmically connected. She has a moon cycle. Can you show me your moon cycle? Show me your cosmogenetic link to the universe. She has one. She has proof in her genetics that say she is God. Really, that's scientifically. I don't know if you're trying to be sarcastic, time stamping army, because I know me and you have had some history going back and forth with that shifting that you're having a hard time with, but it's only ego, sweetie. Yeah, I don't know how you got here. If you think it ain't about no woman, then how'd you get here? Okay? Because if a mama didn't stick a bottle or a breast in your mouth, you wouldn't be here. If she hadn't stuck no food in your mouth, you wouldn't be here. Again, I'm all for women making their own choices. They have their own reasons they do things. I do not judge. I only offer a different perspective. That is your body. You get to control your portal and what comes out of it. And right now, you got them people over there trying to control your portal, going to make you bring more children into a place where they are exploiting humans, bringing them into trauma. You're not going to change any circumstance. You're going to bring more karmic, traumatized children, and then you wonder why they crazy as hell when they grow up because you bring them into a toxic environment. And women, we know that because we live that. And now you gonna make it to where we got the tied tubes. Because some of y'all, even though we tell you no, you somewhere in your mind you want to take something. Is all of them like that? Absolutely not. But it's enough of them to want to keep yourself protected. And see, that's the shadow work we need to do now, especially when you see these men in denial. And I think that's totally it's suspicious. And let me ask these men this again. Don't you think it's suspicious that you don't want to go to counseling or therapy? Don't you think that's suspicious? That you don't want to sit down and counsel and to tell nobody how you think and why you have these views that you do about somebody you come from. That's suspicious to me because most of them don't want no therapist. And matter honey, they be ready to fight the therapist. That's right, time stamping armor. You do. You come out of that womb and you can't wait to spend as much time as you can when you're allowed to stay in that womb. Y'all love that womb. You love that portal. Okay? It's a beautiful feeling, ain't it? When either way you in it, it's a beautiful feeling. Whether you coming out of it or going back in it. Okay? That's the close to God as you gonna get. You know that. That's why you spend your time trying to get in it. Ain't a feeling like it. Very ecstatic. Okay, time stamping army. Now we need to again, you need to, again, talk to your other brothers out there that they mind be sick like that, baby. We need men talking to other men because those men have been programmed not to listen to women. A lot of them. So a lot of you brothers that is awoke and your mind ain't sick and you know what it is, need to be talking to those brothers because men tend to listen to other men. And some were wired in their mind, a lot of them don't want to listen to women, you know. But that men need to be healing other men and really coming to where you come from. Because your major genetic makeup is X chromosome. You have a very small Y, and that's starting to, again, dwindle. That's starting to dwindle. The science is out there. That's starting to dwindle. Dwindle. What do I mean by that? That's why they pushing these birth rates because men has a possibility to go extinct. The science is there. They ain't gonna tell you that, but you start reading something, you see why they pushing this and doing what they doing. That's what's going on there. We're not we're not talking about the pale face numbers are getting. They're not the only one. Numbers are getting low. This is starting to be a global thing around here. Okay, it's not just with the pale face; it's all around. Because again, a lot of us women globally are starting to wake up. This patriarchy thing, we see it for what it is. It's not healthy. The structure is not healthy. Something has to change. Okay, so that's my feelings on that. And when you're controlling your body, you feel like to protect yourself and to again and to close your portals and not bring any more children in here to be exploited or bringing them into trauma. creating any type of soul ties or karmic ties on your spirit, if that's what you need to do it. I do not judge. You are the Lord over your body. It belongs to you no matter what people been telling you. It belongs to you. You are God in the flesh. I hope that made sense to you. Is this making sense to you? I don't know who Earl Simmons is. Who is Earl Simmons? I don't know who that is, baby. Okay. So again, like I said, women, we need to, because the things, the challenges that we have to face is much different. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but we have two oppressors. We have the pale face, and then we have our own men that would oppress us. Rest in peace, DMX. Oh, okay. That's who he is, Earl Simmons. Okay. Don't hear his I think it's the first time I ever seen his real name. Okay. So we have our, it's very different, and that's what you see in that Bible too. Women and children. That God is really getting in these men asses about women and children. You go see that book. So it's got to be divine feminine if you see this God is steady getting in these men asses about women and children. So yeah, I'm gonna decolonize it for you. I'm not gonna pretty that up. I'm gonna move all the doctrine, all these occult hidden knowledge, and just break it down and take the veil off of it so you can see. A lot of people don't like that. They like the veil. They like the fantasy. But I have to I would feel unethical if I didn't disclose this to you. I would feel deceiving if I did not tell you this. So that's why I tell you. Miss Earl Simmons Jr., I believe. Okay. Rest in love, DMX. Hi, Lizzie. Okay. Little so again, we're gonna shift gears here. I'm conflicted for those who may be involuntary, their unborn child who involuntarily lose their mother. Again, that child gets to choose whether they want to come here or not. If it's not safe for them to come here, then again, they will go back. So again, changing our perspective on how we live in here. Some children are to come here 2 or 3 months and then they pass away and they go back. And then you have some children, it's not the right time. It's not the right time for them to be born. It's not safe for them to be born. So they go back. It has nothing to do with you sometimes. It don't be the right time. Right. And then you have people forcing it. And I love Remy Ma, and I'm not trying to bash her. But let's look at Remy Ma and Papoose and what's going on with them right now. Remember when she first got pregnant, she lost that baby, she lost it, right? Okay. And really that was a sign that baby said, this ain't the right time, this is not the right man, I don't want to come here. But they forced it. They did the infiltration. And now they have this baby. Is her and Papoose still together? No, this man, he's still married and being seen with this other woman, but yet they have this baby, and this baby got to see this and watch that. And this man got other children. Okay, and sometimes those souls, they know when it's not safe to come here. When it won't be healthy for them, and sometimes we have to accept that. Gerald said, Gerald said, I'll go to counseling. Yeah, find out how you, because the more you get it yourself, the closer you're going to get to God. And you guys need to have that vulnerability. You need to know what mercy looks like. You need to know what grace looks like. You need to know what nurturing really looks like. You need to know that. You need to cultivate that inside of yourself if you truly want to come in contact with this God. Because this God is divine feminine. You can really see you can see that. I don't know this characteristics, especially when you go through the Bible, all these characteristics that they're naming about this God is feminine. Okay, you can see that in the what's that Song of Solomon? You can see it in Proverbs too. And you go into those books of wisdom like that, wisdom is a woman. That's why you said a guy said he blessed Solomon with so much wisdom. Who did that? Wisdom is divine feminine. If you want it, and I can tell you, and I think you know, just on my journey and experiences as women begin to get older, our minds open up and start shifting in ways that we didn't recognize or even there, especially when you start going in your 50s and things like that. Another type of awareness comes in, another type of wisdom comes in. Again, when you start doing the work, the mind just shifts, it changes. We start seeing things differently. And that's something that's innately in us. And I can tell you, me and this, the more you can again get in alignment with that energy, because that's what you are. You again, what's flowing through your consciousness is divine feminine, but whatever is going on in y'all psychological makeup is having you to resist that spirit. Again, you have psychologists that talk about that. And in fact, that the better that you treat women and the better relationships you have with women, the more you're going to excel spiritually in wisdom and understanding. I can't tell you. I mean, I had this man, we were in a healing group together, and he was talking about how he was going to a group meeting, and he said he was surrounded by women. He said, but you know what? I grew so much around all those older women. They taught me so much wisdom. He said, I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world. That really helped him heal about around being a whole bunch of women. And they've done that in the ancient times. Where you think the men learn where they learn? They sat around a whole bunch of wise ass women. They say you sit there and just hush your mouth long enough, you're gonna learn something from these. You're gonna see God in a whole different light. Your mind is gonna open up. But you won't do it. Some of you don't do it. Yeah, it's just an instant thing to resist, resist, resist. That's why I say it's generational. It's egotistical. When these pale face came in here, with this doctrine, it messed men's minds up, made them crazy. Just like that man, he rather unalive that woman than see her with somebody else. So he unalive himself and her too. It's self-destructive. The programming they gave you was self-destructive. And we kept telling you that to sit yourself down somewhere and get in alignment. That's not you. This is what you supposed to be doing. But no, you came up with this other stuff, these lies and changing the occult, and sat there and brainwash yourself and made the rest of the men sick with you. That's what happened to you, beloved. And you don't even realize your mindset. You don't even realize it. I can't blame it all on you, but when somebody make you aware of what's going on, baby, go get some help. If your wife, your spouse is telling you, hey, sweetie, I see some stuff going on, go get some help. And don't nobody want to be with nobody, spend the rest of their life with nobody crazy. Because you're going to make them sick. Okay? You gonna make them sip and drop their frequency and everything else. You gonna stop their soul progress because you won't go get no help. You know. Yeah, so what I don't want her to fix me. She don't have to be my well, go see a male psychiatrist. I'm kind of scary about that because Dr. Umar Johnson called himself a therapist and God he needs help. He need to be sitting on somebody's couch talking to somebody, unraveling some of the stuff he got going on. He don't need to be seeing nobody because he ain't gonna help nobody heal because he won't even heal himself. So I don't know what good of a healer he gonna be, but again, you need to see you again a male therapist and somebody who's making progress in a good relationship and marriage. Let's see, the better relationships you have with women, again, the better relationship you gonna have with God. It's a byproduct. Your life gonna go smoother. But you don't see it though, cause you think you supposed to rule her. You think she supposed to be bringing something to the table. You think it's easy for her pushing out a whole soul in a whole body, whole human being out of her. You think that's easy, but you can't take one cramp. But you want to call her weak. How can you call her weak and she giving life to humanity? Won't nobody be walking around here without her. I don't see how y'all put that in your mind. How you can convince somebody, you of that. You got a whole mama. Your mama was there when your daddy wasn't there, but you gonna call her weak. She doing God knows what to make sure you got food in your mouth and clothes on your back. And then some of us too, we want to judge our mama harshly for the way she raised us. And you remember your damn daddy was never there. See, I can get hard on my mama. I used to be hard, but guess what? I can't be that hard. I gotta give her some mercy and grace because she was there. When my daddy wasn't there, walked out on me, was not there. She was with me through rain, sleet, storm, hell, whatever. She was there. Was she always right in her mind? No. She was crazy. Why wouldn't she be? She was born in the trauma. So sometimes we got to give our mama a little bit break. I'm not excusing what they do to us, but we got to look at it from another perspective because some of that craziness was passed on to us. Hey, Deborah Braswell, good evening. I have been divorced for 12 years. I used to want to get married, but now as I am in my 50s, I am fine by myself. That's how I feel in my 50s. And see, once we start looking at that, you start seeing how sick some of these relationships is. They're made to be codependent, to be parasitic, especially in the way the patriarch structure is set up in these men's mind. You are setting yourself up uh to be a host for a parasite because this man got this parasitic thinking. A lot of them. Is all of them like that? Absolutely not. But it's too many to count that's like that, y'all. That's just like Muhammad Ali when they asked that man, they asked Muhammad Ali, they said, "Well, do you know you don't hate all white people? You don't is all white people like that? I mean, all white people ain't like that. They won't hurt you." Muhammad Ali said, "That's just like telling me being in a room full of snakes and you telling me some of them snakes ain't poisonous and telling me not to be scared, but I don't know which one is poison, so I'm scared of all the damn snakes." Okay? So don't get mad don't get upset with us when we're afraid of you. You don't want because some of y'all you got to look at your brothers. Some of them are crazy. If you don't want to check them, you know, but you want to convince us that you all right. No, work on your brothers. Y'all open up some group meetings or something. That's what you need to be talking about. Because honey, some of us are afraid of you. Good evening. Okay. But when you get in some of these marriages, you know you and you have to be very gentle with yourself when you're doing this work. It's going to redefine your marriage when you get in here. So don't be surprised when you start doing your shadow work and start healing that your marriage, the way you see your marriage, will shift. That means you're growing. And now you guys got to go back to the table and figure out how this marriage is going to work since y'all growing. I'm scared of men. Again, probably need to do some healing around that and then understanding too. Honey, these men don't even know they mind sick. Because the patriarchy got them thinking this dark psychology is normal and it's not. Okay. Y'all and then y'all too need to realize that your mind's sick, baby. You don't know when your mind's sick until you get yourself well and you look back. I look at myself in my 20s and say, oh my God, I was crazy as hell. Something was wrong with me. What the hell was I look at myself and say something's really wrong with me. I'm a different person now, but I can see my sickness now. Okay? You can't see it when you sick because y'all done normalize bravado. You done normalize toxic what y'all call toxic masculinity. You have normalized that. That ain't normal, baby. The married women admire the life that I'm living. I know they do because they don't want to be in it because they're in a parasitic relationship and they really need to shift. Some of them don't even realize it. But I guarantee you, if they start getting, again, women supporting women and things like that, that probably would look different. And in some societies, they have more tight knitted groups when it comes to women. They set it up to where women are supporting each other, watching each other children, cooking for each other to make life a lot more easier. And if you don't have that, then you're going to have to go in again, reestablish a better foundation for your marriage when you start healing. I mean, I had to do it when I went, at the end of my marriage because this got so crazy. Uh, Especially when I started doing self care, I stopped cooking so much. I started doing self care and doing shadow. I stopped cooking. There's no reason for it. That's a grown ass man. That man can cook for himself. I need to get somewhere and sit down and take care of me. Okay. I had days I cook maybe twice a week, and then the other days I'm focused on taking care of me. Again, had to redefine my marriage, and he should stop depending on me to do so much. It is very different. Uh, It'll be different if these men were full time providers. Then yeah, the roles could be possibly different where your job was to stay at home and again doing the nurturing and all that. But if you're having to work, cook, and all that, absolutely not. So we got to really define in the self care that we have. What time do we have for ourselves? Okay. So again, when you start looking at the shadow working and looking at taking care of yourselves and what's your partners and what's yours, because in these relationships we tend to a lot of enmeshment happens, and that's unhealthy either. You are not the same people. You got some couples they can't go nowhere without each other. They think it's cute, but no, it's codependency and it's enmeshment. It's not cute. I had a friend of mine, she couldn't even go to work without her boyfriend being on her job. He slept there 8 hours on her job. I was like, why would you want him up here and then you got to go home and see him? Really? Okay. Understanding that's what you the most important thing you can do time stamping arm is when that woman is talking to you, you sit down and listen and provide understanding. It's that simple. Sit down and then repeat back what she said to you and try to understand what she's saying instead of listening and thinking that she nagging you, fussing at you. No, she's trying to help you. Because if she wasn't trying to help you, believe me, she didn't give a damn. She'll be gone. She wouldn't say nothing, and she'll be doing what she want to do. Okay, so again, understanding. That's what you can provide, and that's what lack. And then when they see you, they're see when we see you're not getting what we're saying, and we say, okay, he's not getting what I'm saying. We're not connected. Let's go to counseling. When she says let's go to counseling, y'all, now I don't want to do that. Why not? Because I've asked you about it. Nothing has changed. But the vast majority of you do not want to go to counseling, and that is why we exit the relationship, because ain't nobody gonna be living like that for the rest of their life in chaos. But you call us chaos, but a lot of y'all bring chaos to these relationships. So us women got to leave, because we'll be sacrificing ourselves if we stayed there. She don't need your direction. Again, you're delusional. She don't need your direction. You need her direction. That's why you needed your mama direction. You wouldn't be where you are today had your mama not gave you instructions and direction. You're not innately in tune with nature like her. And she don't need your direction. You are delusional. I know you want to believe that, but again, like I said, y'all got work to do. And you to convince yourself that she needs your direction. This shit y'all sit up and do to try to hold on to this false power. It get me out. And it's scary. And you heard what Deborah Braswell said. That's why Deborah Braswell is scared. Scared. You're the reason. That statement right there would make any woman scared. And you think it's cute, but it's not. It's delusional to even think that. But that you're the reason making statements like that. I could again. That's why Deborah Braswell is scared of you, men, because you think she need his direction. Did she say she need his direction? No. Okay. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you the truth. So let's move on here. We just covered some things about and time stamping army. I didn't know what you meant about death. That's why I didn't I hope I answered your question. Working with angels and hoodoo. And you're gonna see that a lot. We're gonna talk about that a lot. We just released a lot of lectures on working with angels, and I know that sounds unusual. Hoodoo practice is deeply rooted in wisdom of ancestor spirit communication in the natural world. While many know hoodoo for its use of herbs, roots, candles, and prayers, not everyone realizes that angelic beings also play a role in the tradition. In fact, angels have long been recognized messengers, protectors, and powerful allies who can strengthen your work when approached with respect and discernment. Now, this is what I have to tell people. And I heard somebody else talking about it the other day. And I was so happy somebody else was talking about it the other day. There was another spiritualist talking about it. My ex-husband tried to control me with the Bible. See, that's crazy. They do that because that Bible was written by men. And so they got these preachers up here again trying to assert their power through this Bible, these men. And some of them don't even believe in the Bible, and yet they would use the Bible to try to control you. That's a crazy thing too. We as men take direction from white men. He's the only man on the planet, like we said yesterday. Yep. Y'all submit to him, but then won't submit to your woman. It didn't want your woman to submit to you after you submit to him. It just, y'all need to have some conversations. Y'all need to have some real conversations. And I will help as many men as I can, but uh but when I see that there's a block there, then I have to refer you to go talk to another man, because I know that's the way your mind is wired up. Sometimes that's the only thing you're going to listen to is a man, because somewhere in your mind, y'all have this programming in there that you think women are trying to take advantage of you or deceive you, or I don't know what you think in your mind, but you know we can't get through to some of you. Okay, I don't know what you know in your mind. You only gonna figure out but reading Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud, looking into the mind of man, y'all resist that X chromosome in you. Okay, even though you're supposed to interface with it and you supposed to again get in alignment with it, something in your genetics, and I don't think the patriarch. structure make it even better. Giving you this structure that you have, I think it even again, you function. It helps you malfunction even more. I think if we got away from that programming more, it'll probably be easier for you to do shift, and you'll see more ascension and better relationships. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but there's definitely something going on with with your mind, with you. You know, I ain't never seen nobody that's from this earth, and you want to sit up and you want to, destroy everything just to prove that you run something. You want to push the button. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Then you want to sit up and take gold, create all this money and stuff from a place you got to live on and your children got to live on. Then you want people to bring children in the world while you doing all this stuff. Are you crazy? Something is wrong with you. Ain't no way you going to bring a child into a burning house. Something is absolutely not right about that. And that's why I would say about the XY chromosome. Ain't no way in the world you can be from Earth and you doing something like that. Ain't no way. You can't be from here and doing that knowing damn well you got to live here. Then you make people homeless. You know, man made them people homeless over there. And then gonna get mad because because they ain't got no house. You gonna send them to jail. But it's the crazy stuff. That's why I got to get out. I had to get out of America. I said, this is crazy. I didn't, and then my body started coming back to itself when again, because it's quiet here in Tyler, the mindset is totally different. Even the dogs ain't violent. Even our dogs is crazy in America. I didn't realize how crazy our damn dogs is. So I come here to Thailand, and these dogs is not aggressive at all. These dogs walk by you like you, don't- like you one of them. They ain't barking or chasing you or nothing. Hell, you go over there in America, them damn dogs be biting you, chasing you, and every damn thing else. These dogs don't do that here. These animals, even the animals don't act the same as they do over there in America. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Y'all come here. Even the animals are impacted by the craziness that's over there. I'm telling you, DD777. You got to see it with your own eyes. Ask somebody from Thailand. I ain't lying. Ask somebody from Thailand. Them dogs, it's dogs everywhere. Them dogs ain't chasing you. They ain't barking at you. They ain't growling at you. Okay? They sitting down watching you walk down the street. Matter of fact, they getting out your way. Make way for you. I looked at my mind I was like, oh my God. I said, even our damn dogs and cats is crazy over there. So you ain't gonna know it till you go somewhere else and you see what you see over there ain't normal. It ain't normal over there. You swimming in mental toxicity. And it's going to infect you spiritually. That's why it's people depressed, got bipolar, and all these mental illnesses over there. Because again, they being ruled by the dark occult sciences and dark psychology. They are using it heavily over there in America. Okay? You ain't gonna see it till you get somewhere else in a different mindset, different mentality, until you get out of that, you ain't gonna see it. That's why I say I gotta get out of here. This is crazy. I didn't heal to wake up to still be dealing with a narcissist on a major level. I still deal with a narcissist. I just healed from a narcissist. Now I got to sit here. Oh hell no. Let me get up and go. I can't do this. I got to move around. I can't do this. It ain't good for my health at all. I got to be sitting in my house frightened and worried about what this man gonna do, and it's just crazy. I don't know how y'all feel, but that's how I feel. Okay. So again, when you're starting to work with angels, because I see people when they start doing their ritual, which I do a recommendation when you first start working with angels. Why do we work with angels? Because again, we have to heal. We have to shift in our mind, into higher consciousness and start getting these downloads. Okay? And angels help you with that. Now, the key to this, and this is with any spirit, because I heard some spiritualists say this, not every spirit want to work with you. Not every angel want to work with you. Okay? So just as ancestors with whom we feel closer to a bond with, because we know, oh, we can work with our ancestors, we feel that vibe, we feel that frequency. Angels also carry specific frequencies. Each angel has its own vibration, qualities, and missions. Some may align with your spirit magic immediately, while others may feel distant or simply not respond. This is not a rejection, it's alignment. Taking it personally only creates unnecessary frustration. Instead, focus on finding the angel that resonates with your path and energy. You'll see that. Now, what I've seen over here before I jump the gun, in any state, before we do anything, we want to ask our ancestors first, because sometimes they can lead you to an angel that they work with and they work perfectly with. Okay, so again, you want to ask them. You want to ask them first. Angels, while powerful, are not replacements for your bloodline. They are not replacements for that. Even though you will have the Egungun and some ancestors, I was working with some ancestors this morning. They have a high uh angelic vibration. And then you have some ancestors that are angels. Okay? And you understand why I say that when I move on. Okay, so before you begin working with any angel, ask your ancestors. Ask them. Ask them to start sending you signs, dreams, synchronicities. And that way you can take the guesswork out of it if you just ask them. Okay? Finding the right angel is not about memorizing lists from books or depending solely on someone's correspondence. It's about a relationship. Pay attention to it. Okay? Look at the dreams, look at repeated signs of synchronicity, how you feel emotionally. Does it feel right? Does it feel uplifted? Does it feel comforting? Do you feel empowered? When you find the right angel, it will feel right. Your magic will become stronger, your prayers clearer, and your results more potent. Another reason why we call in angels because too they keep the work clear and they keep your work protected. So if you're doing any prayer work or anything like that, they keep the work protected and remove all blockages so it can go where it needs to go to be answered. This lecture is in Patreon about Archangel was literally insightful. I was so ready to read the book. Thank you, Deborah Braswell. Okay. So again, working with angels in hoodoo, it requires patience, discernment, and spiritual maturity. It may take you some consistency. That's why I say you be consistent with doing your ritual and calling on that angel at the specific time. We have the times over there, how you should time it. We let you know everything about angels. We even have posted, I think, a book over there to give you all the workings, how to work with every last one of them, their lights, their metals, their stones, all of that. Okay, so you can set your table up and start attracting them to your altar and start giving offerings and praying with them and invocations, making invocations to them. Again, this is about consistent. We do work over here. We don't just sit up here and do no fancy little spell and not do no work. That's not hoodoo. Okay, we don't just light a candle. No, there's so much put into it. That's just like now we get a new moon that's coming up. Right now be a good time to start taking your spiritual bath. So when the new moon come, then you've already in alignment with the workers. You've done the bathing. Okay, you've already primed yourself for the work. That's like a lot of people want to work with the full moon to again do work. Well, you need to start 3 days out. Start your work 3 days out, so when the moon is full, then your work has reached its full potential, and then you can release it. But to do it on the full moon, it's iffy if it's gonna. Sorry, it's iffy if it's gonna work. Okay. As a child, I was brought up by my brother-in-law to respect the woman. The woman runs the house and paid the bills, and he listened to his wife. So I've been doing the same thing. She even made that's so beautiful that that was passed on to you. I wish that was passed on to every man. That every man, because back in the old days, it used to be like that. These men to sit you down and they tell you take care of this woman. Your job is to provide. You listen to what because she ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. You had some men, that was wise enough to pass that along. And that's a beautiful thing to pass on to your brother. Because you keeping them in alignment, you keep them out of trouble. Any of these men telling you to do all these atrocities, the women, all this lying, betraying, and all this stuff. You when you are doing this to women, you are offending God. Let's just keep it real. And then y'all wonder why y'all have so much karmic stuff in your life. That's because you have disrespected the embodiment of God. And some of you do this and you have no real reason to hurt these women like this. I remember Amar Johnson was telling those guys that on that podcast. He said, you get that back when you do these women like this. You'll get that karmic cycle back through your daughters. And them men looks, they was like, oh my gosh, for real? I was like, how could you not know that? Did you not think that that was going to come back around to you? See, this let me know y'all don't truly believe in God because if you did, you wouldn't do the things that you do. You don't truly, in nowhere in the world, you believe in God for real and you would sit out here and do the things that y'all do to women, some of you. Okay? Think about that. Think about that for a minute. You know what? If you love your mama like you say you do, you wouldn't do that. Okay? You think about that. Sit back there for a minute. It ain't your fault. I'm not blaming it on you, but you need to look at it, okay? I'm not bashing you, but I know you're sick and you need to look at it, baby. You need to look at it. And I know it's hard, but you need to look at it. I didn't want to look at my stuff either. I was batshit crazy. But I had to look at that and I had to make amends to my family. Let them know, hey, I was sick. Something was wrong with me. I didn't know I was that sick like that. Okay, I'm gonna be happy when you get yourself together and when you can really see that your mind's sick. Okay, that let me know you're getting well, but you not wanting to look at it and stuff like that. Let me know you like being sick. Okay, I'm not talking about you. I know something wrong with you, and it's not all your fault. That was handed to you, but it's your job to heal it. Then that's your job. Okay, and now we got 9 angelic choirs. We got the seraphims, they call them the burning ones. We got the cherubims, they're the guardians of the mystery. So if you want to know any divine knowledge or wisdom, anything like that, again, Gabriel is notable for being a cherubim as well. Okay. They're protectors of divine knowledge, wisdom, and sacred places. Then we have the thrones. Now, a lot of people like to call on those thrones, uh, again, for justice. You doing any court work or anything like that, you probably want to be calling on the throne angels. Okay. Then you have the dominions, the order bringers. You can that them you can use for justice work again. Okay, they're gonna clear some things out. You really see them work with a lot of countries, big leaders, things like that. They oversee things like that. Okay. And the thrones are going to look at justice and truth and balance. So again, if you have that going on, calling on the thrones, calling on the dominions as well to help you in that workings. Because you got some angels out there, honey, that can put a hurting on somebody. Don't you think they all lovely and everything else? Like, honey, they just all lovely, honey. Especially the Archangel Michael will put a hurting on somebody. You don't want to mess with him, especially just if you messing with one of them practitioners that's under him, honey. Baby, he can put a hurting on you. Don't you? And he can get after somebody. You need him to get after somebody. He can get after them. Okay. So you want to make sure you in alignment with these angels when you need something done. And that's why I tell people when they be talking that smack and be with these titles, I be like, well, how you ranking in the spirit? How your relationship with these spirits? I don't want to hear your title. How you ranking though? Because the title don't tell me how you ranking. Okay? I don't care about your title. Then you have the powers. These are the warriors and defenders. Okay? Good for protection work as well, depending on what you have going on. And see, the more you start to work with some of these angels, you'll know the work you can do with them and what work you're limited to doing. Then you got the principalities. Again, these are again countries, nations, communities. So again, knowing these angels and knowing which one that you vibe with, because you'll have some that you can call on. But I'm going to talk about the ones who are popular to call on um in Hoodoo. Okay? And of course you can work with your guardian angel as usual. Okay? Because you will hear them. I work with my guardian angel for a long time. And what another thing too that started happening to me when they was getting me in alignment, I mean, be so crazy. But don't be surprised if you start hearing them push you. When you make you they but I remember working with my guardian angel and I was trying to do something. I was trying to again um build up my stamina by getting up walking every day. And I remember one morning I tried to sleep in. And I had told my guardian angel this, what I was trying to do. And I tried to sleep in and I heard a voice just as clear as I'm talking to you. He said, "Get up, get up." I looked around that room and I knew instantly it was my guardian angel that I was supposed to get my butt up and keep my promise and do what I was supposed to do. Okay, so don't be surprised at that because the closer you get to your guardian angel, again, talking to them, you will start interacting with them. They will make themselves known. Okay. And you can use seraphims to for cleansing, breaking curses, cherubims for guarding sacred space and dream revelation, thrones for court cases, justice and fairness, dominions bringing order to chaotic situations and family disputes, virtues. Now, the more you look at virtues, I love looking at the virtues because when you look at the virtue angels, they remind you of the divine feminine. They remind you of the divine. When you start looking at those virtues closer like that, they're going to remind you of the divine feminine. And I'll go into more because when you look at the virtues, you start to see again, they look ancestral. And our ancestors work with the virtues a lot for healing, root work, prosperity, and natural blessings. So you'll see them being called on a lot. The principalities, again, for collective rituals and ancestors' work for community. Archangels are usually for petitions or particular work, like the Archangel Michael, Raphael for healing. And your guardian angel, again, a part of your aura, your higher self, just everyday petitions, healing work. Now, let's go on. Now, the two archangels that people tend to call on the most in Hoodoo, that tend to resonate, would be Metatron and Saturphon. Now, Enoch is said to be Metatron. Remember, they said they took him up. They took him up, and it is said that Enoch is supposed to be Sandophon. I mean, Metatron. That's what they say. And then Sandophon is supposed to be Elijah. He was taken up. He didn't see death, so he's supposed to be again Sandophon. And you see a lot of Hoodoo practitioners. They will work with either Metatron or Sandophon. And I think it's too because the energy, it seems to be more ancestral, and that's probably why they work with them. I don't have a lot of information about that, but I've seen them be popular. They people learn as much as they can about Sandophon and Metatron, and they begin to work with them. And Metatron is more like a rebel. He breaks boundaries. You know, you try to pray. If you're working with something limited and you think somebody trying to give you limitations, work with Metatron. Okay, he makes his own little path. That's what I've heard. The link between the prophets and the angels show that the angels are not distant forces, but sometimes elevated ancestors or prophets. This fits the hoodoo's worldview, where spirits rise in power and continue to guide the living. I don't know if you, but Tina Cherry is my wife. I know she's your wife. Very beautiful lady. We've had a conversation. And I think she mentioned to me too that you guys were interested in doing some counseling or shadow work. I just made that available over there on the platform if you guys are interested in that. Okay, and I will be present and walking you through it, and I know exactly what I'm doing. I do this, I'm always picking at myself and questioning myself. And so the tools that I'll give you, again, you'll be able to continue doing your shadow work and everything like that with the tools that I give you over there in that course. And you'll have that for the rest of your life. You'll be going over that and refining yourself. And that's what shadow work is. It's about continual refinement, growing and ascending. That's what continue on. You don't just do shadow work once and forget about it. No, it's a way of life. Growth is a way of life. Shadow work is growth. Okay? We're constantly growing, bringing in more wisdom and more downloads. So that's what shadow work does. It's ancestors work. It's wisdom in there. And as we break it down, it will become clear. And the most important thing I think about this shadow work is so different. And I think it's so powerful because I give you an opportunity to stand up and give a life review of your experience. Because I want you to write it down, all your experiences. I want you to let that go, get that off of you so you can start a clean slate. You're going to feel a clean slate once we do that. Once you sit down, you get the vote out your mouth, talk about what's going on, your experience, the burdens, the trauma. You're going to feel lighter, I promise you, and you're going to start seeing shifts happen in the way we do it. Okay? I know you're saying now, no, Miss Penn, I'm thinking, yes, you're not going to know till you experience. I wouldn't have believed it either until I experienced. So a person holding that sacred space for you is important. Do not dismiss the power of it because it's so much power. You're going to see how powerful it is. Because after you say what you say, then I'm going to give you the medicine and change your mind about how you are looking at things. You never know. Okay? I'm going to give you that medicine. You're going to feel so much lighter. All that judging you was doing to yourself and all this kind of stuff and not forgiving yourself, that's going to be totally gone. You're going to know how to love on yourself and forgive yourself. Okay? So that's it. That I think that's the most important and most powerful part of that shadow work. We are hands on there with you. I don't let you do that by yourself. Okay, you can't do it by yourself. It's just your mind. When our mind's sick, we just can't do it. Ain't no way I could have did shadow work by myself. Ain't no way, because I was judging myself harshly. I wasn't doing the shifting that I needed to shift. I wasn't giving myself enough compassion, mercy, and love. We be the most hardest people on ourselves. Some of us. So you need somebody to come in there and show you your light sometimes, because sometimes we can't see our own light. We need somebody to come in there and turn it on, help us turn it on. Okay? And so that's exactly what we do in that program. It's such a beautiful thing. I don't think I would have made as much progress on my spiritual journey had I not been focused on doing this work and dedicated to it. I wouldn't be able to even come here and talk to you guys because of all the trauma and all the stigma, all the stuff that I had put on myself that was stuck to me. Okay? So it is very powerful. So I don't want you to dismiss it. It's very powerful. My ancestors. My ancestors. My ancestors helped me with hoodoo. Okay? And of course I worked with some other people, but it's really your ancestors going to help you with your hoodoo. And when you see somebody else showing you some hoodoo, you looking at what their ancestors showed them. But long as you got all the materials over there and you know how hoodoo looks, you get to create your own workings. See, we're used to somebody coming here showing you workings, and then when it don't work, you're upset. But you wasn't supposed to be doing it in the first place. You was supposed to be following your ancestors and how they do stuff. It's I mean I commend them from coming here trying to share things with you. But it's so many things that need to be considered before you start doing work and tapping into your magic. And I commend them for it because we do need to know some things we need to know, but we also need to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. Why it didn't work and why it did work. And usually the people that's giving you these workings, they have no explanation on you except tell you didn't have faith. Well, that's a Christian thing again. You can't, this is not Christian. Hoodoo is a spiritual science. And once you understand that, it will work for you. But don't tell them that they have faith like this, some type of Christian faith-based type of, it's not that. Okay? Don't tell them that. Because you making hoodoo look like it's Christian, and it absolutely is not. We worked hoodoo without Christianity because we knew sometimes faith wasn't enough. You had to get in there and work with those spirits. We do conjure over here. We work with spirits. So don't tell people that. I'd rather you tell those people, well, maybe you got some blocks, maybe we need to do some shadow work. Have something for them to start clearing out blockages and works instead of telling them their house was dirty, or they didn't have faith in they work or whatever. Don't tell people that. The link is in my bio there on YouTube. It'll take you straight over there to Patreon, baby. It'll take you straight over there, Mama Nisi. Okay. Don't tell people that. I mean, you making the people feel hopeless, like they something wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with them. Okay, they need some understanding in what's going on, and they not getting it. And once you understand something, you can go at something a lot better. Once you understand something, you know. That's like somebody giving you a phone. You ain't never worked that phone before. You don't know how it work. You don't know how to turn it on or nothing like that. And they ain't gave you no instructions. They ain't showed you nothing. And here you is. You've been working with that phone for an hour or something. And you don't even know how that phone work. But when somebody show you how it work, then you can navigate the phone better. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Now, this is something brand new. This is a brand new ancestral technology, and you don't understand it. Okay, so we go ahead and show you these natural elements and how they work and how they work with us. Don't tell people, you didn't have faith in it. That's why it didn't work. Or your house was dirty. That's why it didn't work. Did you ask them what was going on with them instead of just making these accusations? Talk to them and see what's going on and make an assessment and give them some work to do, to give them some clearing work to do, some unblocking work to do, spiritual baths to do, and then go do it. Don't just, again, they mean well. I think they mean well. And then some of them already they got their ancestral magic. They already tuned in, so they don't have to. Some of the people don't have to do as much work as some of us that've been disconnected from the practice. So now, we got to go at it from the bottom up. And I expect at some point they're gonna have to go back from the bottom up too. Because I don't see no way you hit bumps in your life and it'll take you back to the beginning. Because that's how you got to recalibrate sometime. Okay. So again, many of us walking with inherited pain, trauma passed down through slavery, oppression, and broken families, and generational struggles. These wounds live in our DNA and show up in our lives as cycles of poverty, fear, shame, anger, disconnection from spirit. Shadow work helps us to recognize these patterns as ancestral echoes rather than personal failures. Heal the trauma that was never processed by those before us. We release what no longer serves us so future generations are free from the same cycle. In this way, shadow work becomes ancestor healing. By doing the inner work, we strengthen the spiritual foundation of our lineage. We strengthen magic and intuition. When we ignore our shadows, our energy is divided. Old wounds, doubts, and unresolved pain scatter our focus. Okay, so you don't know when you're going up there, you doing that work that you got all this going on in your mind, so much going on in your mind, you're not even observing it, some of us. Okay, and so shadow work helps clear that out because when you know you go up there now, you know this gonna work. You clear all the way out. So you ain't just clearing your body, you clearing your mind too. That's what shadow work do. It's like a bath for your mind, a spiritual bath for your mind, getting it out your head. You will be doing a lot of head washings during this time and wrapping your head when you're doing shadow work to keep your mind protected. Okay, that's the best time to start doing shadow work and head cleansing. Okay, that's what that's for. When you start doing your shadow work and working with your mind, you want to keep your head cleansed and your head covered. That's gonna come in handy. You get sharper focus in your magic. You're able to focus on your magic now. Okay? Because your focus, you're going to need to have that focus. And if you're clear like that, you'll be able to focus on your intentions and your outcomes, and you'll have better results. Your intuition is going to heighten. Okay? The more you know yourself, the more you start talking to yourself, again, your intuition is going to heighten. Improve spirit communication because if the intuition is better, you're going to have better communication with your ancestors. It's a byproduct with shadow work. You can do all that other stuff, but once you start doing the shadow work, that is the ultimate spiritual level up. You're going to start seeing things shift sometimes before you even pick up doing any work because now you know the power of your mind. And that's how your hoodoo work. Okay? Improve spiritual communication. So I just talked about that. Shadow work and hoodoo is also about reclaiming parts of the self that were suppressed or stolen. Many of our ancestors were forced to hide their spiritual practices, silence their voice, and deny their true power. By doing shadow work, we restore our connection to spirit on our terms. We reclaim hidden gifts and talents and buried beneath pain, walk in alignment with both our higher self and our ancestral wisdom. And we do integration because you're not going to be perfect. You need to know that there again, these dualities are in you and integrating everything. No, we don't want to dispel the shadow. We want it still there. We want to integrate it. Okay, so a lot of integration begins to happen. You're going to start accepting yourself for who you are. You ain't supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be just like you are. If you're trying to be perfect, then no, no, no. That's not what we doing. Acceptance, self acceptance, radical love here. Okay. Hoodoo teaches us balance, the balance between the light and dark, spirit, matter, past and future. Shadow work brings this balance into our lives. Instead of running from pain, we transform it. That's what we do. We transform it. We transmute it. We're resilient. That's what our ancestors did. And that's what this does. Instead of repeating cycles, we break them. Shadow work is not easy, but in hoodoo, it is essential. It is the path of the healer, the conjurer, and the ancestor worker. You're doing true ancestors work when you do shadow work, especially when you do it in community. By tending to our shadows, we honor our bloodline, sharpen our magic, and deepen our relationship with spirit. And true shadow work is not just a personal, it is communal. Each wound healed within us is also a wound healed for our ancestors and for those yet to come. Okay, so this is important work. Don't take it lightly. Don't think that you can just be out here in these spiritual streets and not put in no work, because everybody put in their own work. Okay. Any questions before we go into the good stuff? Because we have a new moon coming up, and I wanted to share with you some root work recommendations that might help you in this new moon. Because this new moon is coming in Virgo. We get to plant seeds, start a new slate. Okay, we get to renew, especially with these retrogrades coming. Again, we need a new beginning. So I'm going to start with the elemental breakdown of the earth signs. So the earth signs, are you in here? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I know you guys over there on Patreon already got this juicy stuff. Okay, you have it over there. So you have it documented over there. You can go look at this juicy stuff. So we have a new moon coming up in Virgo. The new moon in Virgo arrives at uh again between the 22nd, 23rd, depending on where you are. The Virgo opening a portal for grounded beginnings and tangible intentions across the zodiac. And we're dealing with Mercury as well. Okay. Virgo ruling planet is Mercury brings meticulous focus while its square to Uranus hurls sudden shifts, surprising breakthroughs, or jolts to routine. So again, we want to plant some seeds because we want to get this energy. We want to work with this energy. We want to start planting seeds. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this is for you. Okay? Taurus, creativity, romance, sincere self-expression are illuminated right now. What root work you should be focused on? Dress a green or pink candle with rose water or something sweet and place it over a saucer atop of a banknote. Circle it with syrup or honey or something sweet to amplify the creative and romantic energy. That's for you, Taurus. Okay, that's the work you can be focusing on. So do some sweetening going up, sweeten up your money. Okay. I would say Taurus all about that money, honey. All about that earth. You probably even want to work with some plants. I would say uh work with your plants too. Work with your roots. But as always, ask your ancestors about the magic before you do it. These are just recommendations. Virgo, a powerful reset through habit, identity, and clarity is available. Create a grounding sigil, combining Virgo symbols, carve it into a brown beeswax candle, and burn daily for routine alignment and self clarity. So again, Virgo, you probably want to focus on alignment. Okay, focus on alignment and bring in that again, setting your intentions, get in alignment. Okay, that is for you, Virgo. You needed me tonight. Mama niece said, "Woo, I needed you tonight." Uh, Capricorn, growth, expansion, stepping beyond comfort zones are thrust into focus. So now it's time to do your work, Capricorn. Craft a ritual with a small compass or parchment paper, label with your expansion goals, wrap it beside an earth-based root. You're gonna be working with some roots, Capricorn. Okay, you can use ginger. Maybe you want to use High John the Conqueror. I don't know. Ask your ancestors and bury it by your workspace for steady grounding momentum. See, this when these plants come in handy. Okay, this when these plants come in handy. You know, this when these plants come in handy, y'all. As you know, this work is like planting the seed. And so sometimes you go outside and you can bury your work by a tree. They can keep that work going for you and it stay on that current. I don't know, y'all. See, you get over there, your hoodoo mind gonna come open, and your ancestors gonna be telling you all different types of creative ways to do that magic. Okay. Okay, the earth signs coming up with the earth signs: Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini, you first. Somebody said, Mitch say I'm Gemini. Okay, domesticity, home life, foundations are up for renewal. Time for you to reset and recalibrate the home. Sweep your space, clean, then anoint a white candle with lavender oil or rosemary oil. Place near your front door to invite in peace, clarity into your personal domain. So, this is a place, again, recalibrating your home, your space, bringing peace inside, tranquility inside. Okay, that's going to be the thing that you focus on now, Gemini, is keeping at home peaceful. I love lavender. And right now, I've been working with a lot of jasmine. I like jasmine too. Uh, Libra. Libra, time for inner reflection, spiritual closure, and releasing old patterns. Okay, your root work is to write what you wish to release, burn it safely, and collect the ashes. Bury them in the earth under a full moon as a symbolic act of letting go. So this new moon, you're gonna be doing that and then saving that when the full moon comes and then burying it, releasing it. Okay, that is for you, Libra. And as always, ask your ancestors. I'm just here to recommend and help you along your way. Aquarius. Vulnerability, intimacy, shared resources come into the spotlight. Use a blue green candle dressed in basil or frankincense oil surrounded with small river stones to anchor openness and trust in connection. Okay, so again, this is about, again, you connecting with others, being able to be vulnerable, creating the intimacy for yourself, being open like that. Okay, and stop kind of closing yourself off. Okay, so that might help you. But as always, I'm saying, did you ask your ancestors first? Just because I told you that don't mean, you go outside your ancestors. Don't get me in trouble. You don't, okay? Don't get me in trouble. I'm gonna tell you right now. I told them to tell you, ask you. Okay? Go ask them first. I'm not above the ancestors. I'm not above your ancestors, so ask them. Uh, Fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries, you're up. Aries, work demands and health routines call for adjustments. There is a chance to build sustainable patterns. Set a red candle for stamina. Inscribe a daily habit goal. You might have to journal a little bit now, okay? And burn nightly to fuel consistency. Leo, financial opportunities emerge yet require grounded approaches. Dress a gold or green candle in cinnamon and bay oil. Place it on a safe surface surrounded by coins or small pouch of oats to attract mindful abundance. Okay, so you probably want to do some prosperity work around this time. Okay, Leo, you want to focus on bringing in more prosperity. So that's what you'll be focused on. Sagittarius, career initiatives and recognition may come. Structure and strategy are key. Anoint a green pillar candle with spruce or what is that? Fir oil, surrounded with paper, declaring your work aspirations to root intentions in action. Okay. Water signs: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Cancer, you're up. Cancer, you're up. Your voice and communications holds power. Speak with clarity and intentions. Root work: burn a silver or white candle beside a blue bowl of water. As the candle melts, pour water slowly while releasing affirmations to heighten clarity and presence. Again, if you've been cloudy here, foggy here, again, doing some clarity work is going to help you, Cancer. Scorpio, community connection and networking gain momentum. Craft a circle charm with herbs like mugwort, star anise, rosemary, light it monthly to strengthen the bond and gather supportive people. Okay. I don't know what you want to, I would say make a jar. I would make a jar. That's what I would do. That's just my opinion. That's what I would do. I'd make a jar. Okay, Pisces. Partnerships evolve with practical grounding, balance emotional ideas with realism. Root work. Float soft pink flower petals in a water bowl under moonlight. Set intentions for commitment or clarity, then allow the water to nourish connections after dawn. Okay. Given the new moon slow dawn of energy, consider working with it for 3 days before. So you probably want to again start setting the intentions now. You got a couple of days to start again preparing yourself and priming yourself. And the day after, this expands your access to its transformative power. Because they say when we have these new moons and full moons, the energy start coming in 3 days before and 3 days after the new moon and full moon. So the energy is still there, intense in the earth. Okay. Okay. Anybody, we covered a lot here. I let you know what was going on over there on our Patreon platform. And we covered a lot here. You guys asked some wonderful questions. Thanks for your engagement. I appreciate every last one of you. Do anyone have any questions for me? Any questions? Let me know. Also got some charts to work on, some astrological charts, and I do these charts where I pin down the root work because when you got your zodiac chart, your natal chart, you guys, that's the root, just your root medicine. It gives you a head start on the work you need to be doing. And so what I do, I break it down from a hoodoo perspective and let you see the ancestors work, the shadow work, and the root work you need to be focused on with a recent energetic update based on uh the astrological forecast for now, so you know exactly what you need to start on now. I break that all the way down for you, and I think that's wonderful because it takes all the guessing out of it, and you get to take it to your ancestors and start asking them, what is going to work, what you need to start with first, and how they want that to look. Okay. And uh, that service is only $10 if you wanting that service. Did I not do Pisces? I did Pisces. I think I did Pisces. So again, you know how that work. Look at a lot of us, we get our astrological chart and we like, oh, I got this, and this is why I'm like this, and this is my personality. Oh, this is why I do this crazy stuff because I'm a little bit crazy because these placements I have. Okay, so what you need to do about it? Okay, do the work and let your magic line up with your star because that's your root. That's the root to who you are. So again, getting in alignment, you can tailor your magic to fit you because it's supposed to be a fingerprint. Your magic is not supposed to look like nobody else's magic. I don't care what you see here. Okay, care what you see here. Your magic ain't supposed to look like that. Stop comparing your stuff to other people's stuff. Your stuff is just as powerful than anybody else's magic. You by saying that, you saying your ancestors ain't powerful. Now we know that ain't true. Okay, so just stop it. Stop looking at other people's stuff, and you need to start thinking, I'm powerful. I know. Hey, I know what I'm doing too, because my ancestors they already put that in me. It's already in you. So stop it. Okay, you have that in you. Uh, so if you're interested in getting that, let me put my DM me on TikTok, but let me go ahead and put my email address in here, honey. So if anybody in the chat here on my YouTube family, if y'all want to uh book a reading, you can reach out to me. Is I'm doing this right, Lord? No, I'm not. Okay. So we got that email address in the chat there in the YouTube with my YouTube family. Just let me know, hey, Miss Penny, I want you to cast that chart for me. If you're just wanting a reading, say, Miss Penny, I just want to see what's going on with me. What kind of energy is around me? What do you see? What's going on with me? Then you can book a tarot reading as well. Those are just 30. Yeah, $30. Okay, those are just $30. And the astrological chart thing is just $10. But you give me a day or two to get it out to you because I like to break it down and look at it and give you what you need. I'm gonna be very thorough about it. You're not gonna be confused. I promise you. You probably ain't never seen nothing like that in your life. You're probably gonna be like, oh my gosh, yeah, yes, I did that. Okay. We did that, the ancestors did that. So now you got your chart and you got it broke down the hoodoo way, and you can start right into doing your work. The astrological reading, if you want me to do your chart, that's $10. If you want a regular tarot reading, that's $30. If we do the new tier, will we still be able to get the ritual? Yeah, you're gonna get all that. You get everything in the new tier. You're gonna get everything and plus the shadow work course. You get that in the shadow work course. You still get everything. You get absolutely everything. You just getting more because you get me with the shadow work, and we do these group meetings, and we're gonna be meeting a lot. You get more workshops in that know thyself tier because I know that I have to be present and we have to be doing group meetings in order for you to make progress. Okay, so I have to be more, my presence is going to be there a lot. Okay, and then the most important thing, I don't want you to get that tier and then we start having meetings and you fall behind and you don't know what because you haven't been going to meetings. You again, this is investment in your time, and it's quality. It's a quality service I'm bringing. Uh, Again, taking myself, using my time, and holding that space for you guys, and making sure I keep it structured and keep everybody protected. Because there will be rules in there. You will not be going out of there opening your mouth telling nobody else's story. I won't let you do it. I will not let you do that. Whatever we talk about over there, it stays over there. You will not share it with anyone else. You will not be recording nobody's stuff. Okay. And matter of fact, when we started meetings, you need to be in the room by yourself alone so nobody hear what you're talking about, what you're sharing. Anonymity is very important here. Okay. You don't judge nobody. We don't give nobody advice. You just listen. Your job is not to get no, your job is to hold the space. We all hold the space and listen. Because it's going to teach you something if you be quiet and listen. Nobody's coming there for your advice. Okay. Now, if you want to share an experience that's similar to theirs, do that. But we don't give advice in there. And see, there's a lot of things that we have normalized doing that you're not going to be able to do over there because we're retraining the way we interact. Definitely don't judge. If I catch you doing it, I got to put you out of there because again, this place got to be sacred, and I'm only accepting 20 people in that tier. After that, it's going to be cut off because I don't want to overwhelm myself with a group too big that I can't service or facilitate. Okay, because we do real work over here, and you will if if you do. Again, follow the program and listen. You're going to see changes in yourself, and your family is going to see it too. You're going to start to shine the way you're going to be acting. way you're gonna behave, and people gonna see that change on you. It's inevitable if you follow the program. Okay? And I'm not taking on man. You gonna be over there judging, putting your mouth on nobody. Cause when none of us can't got no business judging nobody. Cause all of us need love, grace, and mercy. Cause all of us been sick at some point. So again, don't go, if you think you're gonna go over there putting your mouth on somebody and putting somebody down like you better than somebody. If you was better than somebody, then you wouldn't need the program. So I'm not gonna take that. Now I'm not gonna let you do folks like that either. I'm not gonna let you go out there and start telling people business. Cause that's a sacred space. Okay? We listen, we learn, we look at their experience, and we take the medicine from it. And you got to be talking about how you feel. Because that's something we have not, as black people, we've been told we ain't got no feelings. We don't talk about our feelings. We just stay and survive and keep going. No. No. We're going to soften you up a little bit and have you go back into yourself and remember who you are, because those feelings and those thoughts, they are, again, giving you wisdom and psychic information now that you have the time to sit down and look at it. Because over there, I'm going to be telling you a lot. Sit down. You're doing too much. Stop ripping and running. Did you do your 15-minute, of sitting with yourself? Put spirit first. It's a lot more, I'm a lot more hands on over there. I'm going to be, again, I'm going to be the angel you didn't think you needed. Okay, that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be slowing you down. I'm going to be pushing you to do more self love. I'm going to be pushing you to do more affirmations. You're going to be doing some radical self love over there because you need to heal. That's something that you didn't get, something your ancestors didn't get. So you have to do it. Get you out of survival mode into thriving mode. I have to do it. Okay. I have to do it. DM me, Rake One. If you want one, just DM me your email address. I'll send you an invoice. Give me your time, date, and place of birth, and I'll get it done for you. But you have to DM me with your email, and we can get started on it. Okay. But again, you're gonna get to know, and we'll get to know each other on a deeper level. And don't be surprised when y'all get close to each other, because you're going to be holding space and providing medicine for each other. So this is really, you're going to, again, it's going to look more like family, like a soul family. So you'll see a lot of changes go over there if you go to the meetings, if you keep it up, and again, actively be participating in radical self love and looking at yourself. Okay. So is that, I don't see any more questions here. I'm so happy to come here and talk to you about the changes and updates that we have going on. And again, I'll come here and share more things with you guys to empower you, to encourage you. And I just love having conversations with y'all. I love the questions y'all ask in the engagement. I just love it. On topics that crossed my mind, but I was like, I'm not sure I should talk about it. But if you bring it up, I'll talk about it. Okay. All right. Okay, Tic Tac family. Love y'all. If you need me, DM me. And hey, I don't DM you like that. The only time I'm DM you when I'm sharing a post for you. I'm not gonna be trying to solicit nothing to you. So if somebody trying to solicit something to you, that is not me. Okay, baby. So don't give no money, no nothing. All right. Y'all take care. Okay, sweetie. Now my YouTube family, you still up here? Did y'all have any questions for me? Anything for me? And it was nice having all y'all in here, asking me questions and inquiring. And I'll be coming back again with new topics, and we'll have discussions. And if you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, put it in the chat. You guys know I talk about it. I don't care. If I know something about it, I talk about it. If I don't, then I say, "Yeah, I don't know nothing about that." I ask somebody in the chat, what do you know about it? Okay, so I'll be honest with you, because Miss Penny don't know everything, but I know some stuff. Okay. All right, love y'all. Y'all take care. I hope to see y'all over there on Patreon one day.